Filmmakers Indica Cream Ramraj Mritu Towels presents Galatta Thug Life Celebrations. Powered by Prithvi Innovias, The Chennai Silks, Darling, Sura Books, Chandran, VK. Associate Partner, Inno6.
Hello, welcome to Galatta Plus. We are at Kiss Cafe, Kasturba Nagar, Adyar. That's KIS. Keep it simple.
Preview show, I told Hasini, I don't think I'll get any name in this film because it doesn't look like Mani Ratnam film. It's like I'd never seen Mani sir directing Kamal sir. Never seen. People should not say this is the person who shot that. That is what the fun is.
Right.
People should. Even Mani sir said his assistants are new guys. So Mani sir has to run, adjust some chair or whatever. He'll get up and run and shout at two people, and so those things he has to do because we are open to work with any new director. It's not that we are saying we work without money. Also, we shoot a lot of films. The thing is, they don't call us. The younger generation, I haven't find a voice where they're standing out from the rest of the.
Yeah.
Everybody shoots well. It's fine.
Yeah, but signature is not.
There's no signature.
Do you ever do jobs just for money?
I've done like that, and I made a mistake like that. It cost me a big film on the other end. Yeah.
Yeah, which film was that?
I can't tell now.
Title sponsors Indica Cream, add color to your life. Ramraj Mridu Towels, super soft, super absorbent. Galatta presents Thug Life Celebrations. Powered by Prithvi Innowares. Prithvi Innowares, your perfect partner. The Chennai Silks, let the celebrations begin. Darling AC Tiruvizha, இந்தியாவிலேயே மிக குறைந்த மாத தவணையில் ஏசி. சுரா கைட்ஸ், சுரா ஸ்கூல் கைட்ஸ் ஃபார் ஆல் கிளாஸஸ். ஜெயச்சந்திரன், குறைந்த விலை நிறைந்த தரம், தங்கள் தேவைகள் அனைத்தும் ஒரே இடத்தில். ஜெயச்சந்திரன். Associate sponsor Inno6, Bharat Ka Next Gen Crypto Exchange. When Maunaragam happened, and that was the signature Mani Ratnam movie, right? Because the movies before that, despite various things, they were either small budget or something went out of control or he wasn't completely controlling the whole thing or whatever. So when you look at Mani Ratnam's movies, Maunaragam is the first like actual his signature, right? What was your reaction?
Yeah, because I knew all along he is a great director. Like, so if you look at Maunaragam Karthik role, he has done it in that kind of role in Palivena Balivi.
Yeah, the same role. Same
role.
Yeah, in fact, some scenes are also similar.
He was trying to fine tune his vision. You know, when he get control over it. Like if you say, look at Pagal Nilavu, that scene is there in Nayagan also.
Yeah.
The hospital scene. When people didn't talk about Pagal Nilavu scene, when Kamal sir and in a controlled film where he had all control, that that scene elevated. So everybody will try to say, if I try to do one particular lighting in one film, it didn't work, means next film I'll try again. I know that will work. I'm trying to fine tune it. So that happens, like, you know, for a music director or anybody.
Right.
It you know, for an artist also, like, you know, if they paint something, they fail, they'll try to paint it again because that stays in your back of your mind.
Yeah, I want to crack it. I want to see how I can do this, right?
Yeah.
But given the fact that Mr. Ramchandra Babu was the cinematographer of Pagal Nilavu and Unaru, and you were there with them, so Mani Ratnam works with P.C. Sriram over that's a big chunk of films. Then we have mix like one-offs like Madhu Ambat. Then Santosh comes in with Talapati, and then Roja he continues. So you don't get into the picture until Aida Rittu and Yuva.
Kannatilmuthamittal.
Oh, that was before, right?
That was before.
Yeah. So Kannatilmuthamittal, Aida Rittu, Yuva, that was roughly around the, like around the 2000s, why the long gap? Did you ask him?
Because I moved to Bombay. I was doing films there. So I never had, direct connection with him. Yearly once or twice I meet him sometime.
Yeah.
That's how it is. So you wouldn't have seen any of my films. I was doing Dil Chahta Hai. That time he called me to do Kannatilmuthamittal,
right,
which is a great film for me to explore because it's not regular Mani Ratnam film. So I was lucky to be part of films like My Name is Khan, which is not Karan's regular film. Kannatilmuthamittal is not regular Mani Ratnam film. Black Without Songs with Sanjay Leela Bansal is not a regular film. So these kind of films I could get it I was lucky. When I look back, I consider like that because Iruvar and Kannatilmuthamittal, they saying one of the top 5 films of Manisha's list.
Right.
Everybody mentioned Iruvar is the topmost, and then comes to Nayagan and Kannathil. So at least I was part of that good film. Like so, I see you wouldn't have seen any of my film. Maybe he is very comfortable with Santosh or PC.
Yeah.
Why should he change it? And Rajiv was called for acting, but he said I will shoot it. Then they took Rajiv to do Bombay.
Yeah.
So like that, Rajiv became a DP, but Rajiv was not interested in continuing cinematography all the time. So he's running a advertising company,
Yeah.
all these things. So
I keep telling Rajiv this, that he has severely underutilized himself in his career.
Yeah,
It's just a running joke.
yeah.
He hasn't made as many films. He hasn't shot as many films. I mean, of course, it's his choice. And he has he has his training institute and all that. So that's all good. But as a creator, I feel
he has taken a back seat on that.
Yeah.
That's a tricky area. Like so for example, now there's Prakash Sharma, Nirvana Films, is a great director. But I keep telling him he should direct a movie. He didn't direct it. Suddenly he acted in Thodarum and became the big villain, the biggest villain in Malayalam industry.
Malayalam now, no?
So people are calling him Judge Sir now. So he's a very good director in advertising. He's the topmost director for the past 15-20 years, and he's the highest paid director. But suddenly he got into acting, which nobody ever thought.
Right. So in Kannathil, again, like Dil Chahta Hai, we're coming to that similar zone where, see, there are 2 types of Mani Ratnam films, right? One where the light is very, very specific. And so the actors have to stand in very, very specific situations so that the light hits them exactly the same way. Whether it's Nayagan, Agni Nakshatram, Anjali especially, because you're having huge shafts of light coming through the windows and people are dressed in those beiges and whites, and so there's a very, very particular kind of throw. Kannathil, on the other hand, comes for me in the other set of Mani Ratnam films where there seems to be a kind of non-lit atmosphere where actors can pretty much move anywhere. You stand there, you'll get one particular, it won't look wrong.
Yeah.
If you stand there, it won't look wrong. Whereas in the other films, if you move, it'll look wrong because the light is going to go somewhere and you're going to go somewhere. Right? Whether it's Kannathil or Yuva or this one, Aidalithu, Yuva came first because of the accident that Vivek Oberoi had. You made Aidalithu and then went back and completed Yuva. So that's why I'm saying Yuva first. So tell me the lighting.
When I got a call to do Kannathil, there's PC Shira, Rajiv Menon, Santosh are standing over me. Like they have done iconic films, and it had songs and dance and
Right.
Locations like that. This film is a very gritty film. This film doesn't have any of those things. Very realistic film. And the kids, when you have kids and animals, you can't tell them where to stand and all. You have to be free flowing. So that is the basic idea of the whole narrative. So you can't tell the kid to stand here, turn like this light catch and all. So they have to be free. So they pretty much light has to come from outside. They should not feel obstructed by too many lights and cutters and all. So we eliminated that first. So that already given us the freedom to move around the camera. And if you see a scene like Amrita's first introduction, she is sleeping, the mother comes and kiss, and the scene starts. It goes to the bathroom, then they come out, they cross the Jula and come here, and he introduces Madhavan, the father-in-law, then the Madhavan, the kitchen, everything they introduce. Then she is on TV, that also introduced, and Madhavan's character also introduced. He fired 2 guys, and she comes, and meanwhile the kids has to get dressed and come and pray and all, and the grandfather, they'll take money and they come and they pray, and she says today is her birthday. So he calls her, she comes and hugs him, and he kisses her, and this is how the scene ends. It starts with the mother kissing the daughter, father kissing the daughter
Yeah.
in the end. This is the end shot. He said that, Mani sir said, this is the scene. So let's rehearse it. And we started with the rehearsal. And we are moving lights, we are moving the jula, and somebody is hiding, and when the camera turns, they put the jula, so you will not know how the camera came from there. It's not a Steadicam shot. It is a Panther shot. So Panther is coming backwards. It goes in different heights to accommodate Madhavan height and the Simran and all this.
And the children.
And the children.
Yeah.
32 marks. We are getting some 15, 20 focus marks. It's on film also. And we took 13 takes. And the light has to move from this end to other end by a rostrum. So that has to come. Sometimes it might come in the frame. Again, we let it do one more. Every time there's a young boy is there in that. You have to put inside the toilet and they pour water on him. And that boy hated it. Because 30 takes, they had to wipe him and put him back to his bed and all. So his parents are hiding in the bathroom, dressing him up. And he is very shy because they have to pull his pants down, put water, and the girls are there. And he said, everybody is standing here, what are you doing? Like that. This kind of comedy and all happening. And Mani told this shot and it happened. So this is how we improvise on the positioning, everything. So light has to change accordingly. So you can't prefix the light. So it's all little happy accidents and all. When I see a Kannatil now, I wanted to switch off certain lights. Why I let it like that, I'm thinking. Maybe the print, what you're seeing, maybe now it's not graded by me. So it would have come from the print or anything. So basically, when I saw the film initially also, I felt I should have switched off the certain light. I should have add some light here. But I didn't have time to do that because of the choreography done there and that. But it worked.
Yeah.
So when I came out of the first premiere, a preview show in I told Hasini, I don't think I'll get any name in this film because it doesn't look like Maniratnam film. It's very simple and plain. Like there's no backlight and those kind of lights are not there. The light bounce off the floor, darkness, and it's not there. It's very. She said, you're going to get the biggest name in this film. She was right. Even now, people talk about the film. So
Right. So when you discuss every director has a different way of incorporating the technicians into what their vision wants. And I'm talking about the directors who are, for the lack of better word, let's say real directors, as in people who really want to choreograph and all that kind of stuff, right? As opposed to people who are just doing coverage. So there are two aspects to this, right? One is Maniratnam has to tell and rehearse with the actors, as in you're standing there and then you're coming there, and then when this person says this, that's when you cross, and those kinds of things. At that point itself, are you there or do you come before that?
No, we come before that, but when the actor comes, Mani sir has a technique which actually, make the cameraman work fast, which he uses very effectively. Suppose this is a scene, Kamal sir is coming here, there's an argument between Simbu and Nazar, there's a discussion going on, this is a sequence. He says, he will tell beforehand this is what is going to happen previous day, so we rig the light. Then we come in, he says the shot. So that shot you may not know. The light, I had to adjust little light and all. Meanwhile, he will call the actors. He will start rehearsing. So by the time they are rehearsing, I will be running around finishing the light and they are improvising also. The position changes from here there. So you keep improvising and keep adjusting light, and you are try to relay the track or whatever we are doing. In that process, you will get the scene. So I never had chance to figure out what they are talking actually, how he is directing an actor. Like I never seen Mani sir directing Kamal sir. Never seen what he is saying. But he has taken 10 takes with Kamal sir, 18 takes also he has taken. He has corrected whatever he wanted to do. But I overheard one day, Kamal sir was telling Simbu, I was sitting there, they were sitting and standing and talking actually, next to, I was doing some lighting, and they are telling, and Kamal sir said, for many years, nobody directed me. They all say, whatever I do, wow, fantastic sir. Nobody dares to direct me. They think I am a good actor, I'll do it. I'm not a good actor, or, I'm a competent actor. I need a director to tell me, but nobody tells me anything. Thinking he'll do it. It's like you're not going to tell A.R. Rahman or Ilayaraja how to come, I don't want this, do like this, and all. Not many people tell. So like that, nobody has directed in my place. Now when I'm working with money, I can see somebody is guiding me correctly, so I could able to think in a different way. Because you also came as a child artist, so both of them are saying we all know all the tricks of the trade which will work, which is a fallback expression. Yeah. That he is not accepting it. He's going to ask for something different. So that is what makes a Maniratnam a Maniratnam. Right. Like when you read a script, you think this is going to be the shot, it's not the shot. Rahman will come with the music, that's not the music he's looking for. So it's like that, So he always push people in a different direction so that to survive, they'll come up with something. That is what happens. So when we did this film like Thug Life, first meeting itself, we said, I don't want to do in this film, we'll go classic. We'll not do handheld and there's that and all, which I have done in Ponniyin. I don't want to do that. Let's do classic thing. So we are discussing this. Then I found one interesting lens. I shot that in the promo.
The first promo. With the 5 people chanting at...
So in that, Kamal sir, one close-up is there. When he turns slightly Wonka-ish, little topish angle, so he turns and looks. When he took the shot, Mani sir also asked what is his lens. Kamal sir also what is his lens. Alfonso Cuarón also asked what is his lens. So it is a wide-angle macro lens. So I used it. I fell in love with it. So we used it extensively in this film. Even in the trailer and all, you see in the railway station fight, and Kamal sir turns and looks. That is a lens. So it gives a wide-angle feel, but it got the telephoto kind of fall off.
It flattens?
No, it gives a wider view.
Okay.
But the camera can be really close.
Okay.
So the deep, focus can be up close. So it's a macro lens. So it worked in an effective way. So we thought, okay, this film will have a lot of wider close-ups with a lot of depth in the background. So that is the idea we were in. So I already set myself, this is the exposure I'm going to go with this film. So to give a cinematic look, more of a film, shot on film look. If you see the film now, you will realize it is not looking like digitally corrected. A lot of windows you put enhancers. We didn't do much of that. We kept it a little cleaner, so it is not digitally color corrected look it will have. It will have a more shot on film, like a Nolan film, or it has the texture and the visuals.
Right.
It doesn't look like Mani sir, when he saw the final grading, he said, he patted on my shoulder and said, it looked like, finally it looked like one film shot on film, after a long time, he said. Likewise, I use a lot of, always use meter to check the light reading. He said, for the past 20 years, I have never seen anybody who's using meter.
Light meter?
Light meter. He said, I have to use the light meter to have the consistency in that. So I don't need to fix it in the post, because my levels are right. So you fix one shot, it will be the same throughout the scene, because it's all consistently lit. It's not lit by eye or lit by monitor. It's lit by meter. There's a rhythm to it.
Yeah.
So that is how this Thug Life look has been. We have arrived to this look.
Right. With the exception of, Kannatil had one big action sequence, which is that in the park there is the shootout, right?
Yeah.
That is the one big act. There's no other real action in the film, right? Similarly, in Ayudirth and Yuva, there is this big bridge action sequence, which is like kind of culminating. So that is kind of a thing that Maniratnam likes to do. He likes to make you wait for the big action rather than having a lot of little bits of action in the middle. But maybe with Chekka Chandavanam, and I get the impression with Thug Life, there's like a lot of action, right? Did you do anything to change the way you shoot action here?
See, in Kannatil time, Saving Private Ryan came.
Yeah.
It had that shaky shutter 45-degree shutter angle so that it gives all these
Yeah.
particles flying and all.
Yeah.
Even Gladiator had this. So we were trying that effectively in Yuva with the digital, it doesn't look the way it was looking in the with the
Film.
film.
Why is that?
Because of the shutter, the aspects of the technical thing. So it doesn't look the same.
Right.
So we have to, we thought we'll avoid this extreme slow motion shots of people flying and all. We made it quicker. This film. So we don't want it to look like, it's happening in slow motion, people are flying. That thing we avoided. We made it raw and real in this fight. So it looks stylized, but still we are trying to do it, blending both of the thing with a new age technology like Mocobot and all these things. This Anbaru masters are very good at using all this technique. Like in fact, they put 5-6 cameras in a different angle. It looks correct for the edit. So they're very clear about what they are doing. Otherwise, sometimes 5-6 cameras are irritating. Just they are doing coverage, you will think.
Yeah.
But they're very clear about that. So it helped the film's action scenes, unlike Mani Ratnam film action scenes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he doesn't shoot Mani doesn't like to shoot action like that.
Right.
So this action is more for the masses also.
What we can expect in terms of the look of the film. You already said that it's one of the films after a long time that you made it look like film rather than digital.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Apart from that, is there any way you treated color differently or?
See, when we graded the film, we wanted to, like me and the grader were thinking it's in the underworld area, and we kept it really dark actually initially. Then Mani sir came and said, no, it can't be so dark because it has to, it's a mass hero film also. So it has to have that edge. We need to give them audience also. Also, we shot the first half in anamorphic, second half in, spherical. So it's two different lensing we have done.
Right.
So first half will look in a certain way and second half will look. So first half we had a lot of warm colors and earthy colors, and the second it goes, colors drains out into go into cooler area. This is what the graphics I have done. That is a cinematography wise, that's what we have done. And songs also comes in the narrative. So except that wedding song, everything that also comes in the narrative. So songs are used as narrative in this film.
Right. Now, when you say that I like experimenting with different types of lenses, are you talking about different company lenses like a Cook lens or something else? Is it like that, or are you also talking about the type of lens itself?
We use a lot of vintage lenses also.
What vintage?
Vintage lenses, reused lenses, and we have tried everything.
Right.
So, and we got Cook lenses also, the Cook 8i, which is a supreme lens. It's a very expensive lens also. So we used all those things. So we are basically, each film will have a different language. So I now I'm doing Sudha Gongara's film that has a different language, different color tones, and also people should not say this is the person shot that. So that is what the fun is.
Right.
People should see the film and say, oh, this film has a different look. Who is the cameraman? Then they should find out, rather than somebody, oh, this is Ravi K's film. You should say, that is a takeaway. Like I always try to do that because I get bored of my work. I don't want to do that same thing, because when you go to a set after working 40 years, if you know your job exactly what you're going to do, then it's boring. You go to a set, you have a new lens, new camera, you don't know what to do with that. Then you're trying to figure out. Then you are alert.
Yeah.
And I always keep new assistants also. Every film I try to take a new assistant. One old hag will be there to deal the production. Rest of the people are literally new. First film and all this. They will be enthusiastic and they also be making mistakes. So I have to be alert on a set because they're going to make a big mistake, which is going to cost the production also a lot of money. I will not able to sit back and relax in a set. I have to be on my feet, That keeps me going after 40 years of shooting also.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what will happen is, even Mani sir said, if you see, except his old assistants, seniors will come like Bijoy Nambiar and will come and deal the second unit or anything. But his assistants are new guys. So Mani sir has to run and adjust some chair or whatever. He'll get up and run and shout at two people. And so those things he has to do, because if you keep a old guy, he can sit, then he'll become a lazy guy. Your mind also will not be alert. The minute you are on feet, it works better. So I never be comfortable in a set. When I go to a film like Sudha's film or an ad film also, I get worked up. I'll think about it through the night and what to do. That always bothers me. I cannot take it for granted.
Yeah.
Like you can't walk into a set thinking you're going to knock it. No.
Yeah.
You're walking into a set, you're going to try to figure out how to survive the situation.
Right. Ravi, I want to ask you this question. There are many films that I see these days that are nicely written. They have a certain voice in the writing, but the directors are young and they don't know staging or anything like that. So the thing is, it looks like either coverage or like a TV series or something like that, right? It doesn't matter in the bigger sense, because the film is kind of carrying the writing is carrying the film through, but it doesn't look like cinema, right? Do you think very, very good cinematographers like yourself should do some kind of social service every year and say, I'm going to do 2 newcomers films so that if I like the script, I'm going to help them find a visual language for their films?
We are open to work with any new director. It's not that we are saying we work without money also, we shoot a lot of films. The thing is, they don't call us. They think that these people are expensive or they'll ask for more.
Fantastic. So I'm putting out a message now that if you have a script and you want to pitch it to Ravi K. Chandran, then
of course I'll shoot it.
Yes,
I've shot many newcomer films and all. In my building in Bombay, one person was making a film in 18 days. Hope or one film, he said, with Nasruddin Shah. So I said, one condition, no lights. Only one camera you give, I'll shoot it. So they gave me camera, I bought some tube lights and shot the entire film. So it was fun for me, because after shooting a lot of lights and without a light, no unit, just camera alone, go and shoot the film. So you can do that. Now I'm going to do a film with Nanditadas also. It's going to be smaller film.
Right.
So we do films like that. Like I keep telling, Lijo, I wanted to be supposed to collaborate on film. So, one film where I can go and do something, because there's too many lights, too many dramas without all this, just pure cinema. I can make that kind of film also. I find one thing, like Shaji and Karun recently, quite some time back, he mentioned he voiced it saying, why in Kerala hasn't produced a Santosh Sivan or a Venu yet in this new generation? I'm surprised. So that's what I was also telling in a recent interview. I said, why there's no PC Sriram, Santosh Sivan or the younger generation, not Ravi Varman or anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, the younger generation, I haven't find a voice where they're standing out from the rest of the.
Yeah.
Everybody shoots well. It's fine.
Yeah, but the signature is not.
There's no signature.
Yeah.
There's no voice. There's no, because you switch on a camera, there's an image. Everybody shoots all kind of lenses.
Yeah.
There's no language to the character.
Right.
The direct cinematographer. Like strikingly, like when you see Mauna Ragam, who is this guy?
Yeah.
I remember I was shooting a Malayalam film with my brother as an assistant, and Revati was acting in Mauna Ragam that time. She came and said, there's a guy called PC Sriram, who is Manirathanan's friend, I believe, and he is putting light on the walls only, not on the face.
Yeah.
One big light, back it is burning. I'm standing in shadow, but in the film it's looking nice. When you raise the hand, the light hits on the face and coming. Because she could able to tell this because she was married to a cinematographer then. So she was telling cinematically, she could explain. She said, there's a guy who puts light like this.
Yeah.
He doesn't put light on the face, the ground, here, wall, something and all he's putting light. So she could able to differentiate there's a guy with a voice, you know. That is what I'm trying to say. So that new generation boys, my advice would be try to find your own voice, not to follow the. See, it's easy to fall and shoot fast and get some money, buy a car and get away. Then people will forget you. In this kind of openness, now anybody can shoot. Earlier, film means you need to shoot with knowledge.
Yeah.
You can't make a mistake. You can't survive. They will not call you to do next film. Here you can correct it in post and all. Without that, with all this, rush in the cinematographer, like if you take a Tamil cinema, at least 20 cinematographers are very good. Good, competent cinematographer. But who has got a voice, I don't know.
Yeah.
That I'm yet to find a Santosh Shivan or a Baladwaj or a PC Sriram in this crowd. I had to figure out who is this guy.
Yeah.
I should get jealous of that guy. When I see their footage, I should say, what the hell is the guy is doing? Who is he? What is his name? I want to Google, I want to call him. That is not happening. See, I really liked Teni Ishwar's work. I called him and spoke to him. I recommended his name to ISE and all these things. Because when you see a good work, we do that. But everybody has got one, not a voice as yet to come. I'm finding it strange.
Yeah.
In Malayalam also, you have a lot of good cameramen at that, but I'm trying to find out one guy who's completely like a Emmanuel Lubensky or Greg Fisher. One guy comes and breaks the norms.
Yeah, and that Revati incident reminds me that when PC started that thing, right? Actually, he started even before with Meendum Oru Kadal Kadai. When you see the classrooms, there'll be light reflecting off the desks, the wooden desk, right? The light will be bouncing off that. So even before Maunaragam, he had done a bit of that. But I think Maunaragam was where it all came together. But after Maunaragam, and especially after Agni Nakshatram, you would find a lot of cameramen suddenly keeping a light behind a bush or somewhere random.
Even I'm one of the guy. We all tried it because PC Sriram came and toppled everybody.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but the point is, it's not transferable. You can't, unless you know what you're doing, you can't just easily mimic.
It is like you can't copy Rajinikanth's style.
Yeah.
It's like that. It is
you can try to copy Rajinikanth,
it is not
but
fashionable. It is not fashion.
Yeah.
It is a style. It is PC's style. It is Santosh's style. You can't copy Santosh Shivan and shoot it because Santosh has a composition sense. His strength is that more than lighting. His strength is his composition. So that is where Santosh scores. If you see any film, Indra also. Small budget film. Terrorist. Any film, Kalapani, he will do that. So Santosh has got he's lazy to light detailedly, but his composition is very strong.
Yeah.
So that is what PC's style is composition and lighting, combined together. Balumendra's style is different.
Yeah.
So each one had a voice. Nivas had a voice.
Yeah.
Ashok Kumar had a voice. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
They're distinctly different. Mitti, you can remember everything. Every frame you remember. Mitti or Nandu.
In fact, Mitti is one of the darkest films, as in not in theme, but in terms of the lack of lighting, because it's hardly lit, especially the inside of the house, where Vijay Kumari and Radhika and Badiyu Karsi are there. Their faces are so dark, and very, the beautiful dusky skin as well, right? So
beautiful.
So
same thing, they didn't have makeup, no? So I remember watching Nenje Thekilade. I went to watch Varumin Neram Sigappu. In the interval, Devi Pictures only, the Devi Theatre owner only produced that film.
Yeah.
And they were there to see their trailer. That Parume,
the jogging song.
Jogging song. They put that thing. And Ashok Kumar, Pratap Potan, Mahendran, all of them were there.
Yeah.
Standing behind. I was in the back row. I could turn and see. And they were standing. And from Varumin, this cut came, this song came, it blew my mind. I never seen something like that. Even now the song is brilliant.
Yeah.
So
the song is great. The photography is just
obviously it won national award for that. So that is what, that striking quality I haven't seen and get up and say, who is this cinematographer? I want to meet him.
Yeah.
That hasn't come yet.
Right. No, okay, this may seem like a stupid question, but I just need to ask because you keep talking about different lenses all the time. If there's a 65mm lens, right, from X company and a 65mm lens from Y company, are they going to give you the same result or will there be a difference?
A lot of differences.
Okay. So tell me what that is.
So it's a flare, it's a coating, everything matters.
Okay.
So it's a blade.
So the focal length is the same.
Focal length is the same.
Okay.
So that's what I was telling. In anamorphic, it's vastly different. Also.
Okay. Okay.
So when I did Dil Chahta Hai, I did a test with Amir, and we did a blind test of 5 different brands of lenses. Same lens. Like
same focal length.
Same focal length. 50 mm or 75 mm. We put it. Make Amir sit there, shoot it, change the lens, other brand you put it, same camera only, lens only we change it, face is changing. Faces become thinner and sharper and distorted and all these things are happening.
That's strange, yeah.
So when we showed it to Amir in a blind test, he chose one lens which he used in the film. So that's how it is. So now we don't have time to do this. On the shoot day only the camera is coming and all these things are happening. Now I don't know, people are ready to do the test and try to get an experiment on this.
So do you do your testing on your ad shoots?
Ad shoots, no. I do testing on before the shoot.
So for example,
I did for Thug Life, all the lenses I tried.
Right. So supposing
I tried different lenses and showed it to Mr. Mani sir and he approved certain lenses.
Right.
We did the test.
You did the test with Kamal Haasan and all that, or with dummy actors?
With Kamal Haasan also.
Okay. Right.
So that is how we arrived to a look. His younger look and all. We try to.
Right. So that the lenses help that.
Lens also helps.
Right. So when you have an actor who's very aware, because Ravi Varman once told me that when he lit up for Vetad Vilayadu, he lit up a situation, and Kamal came and stood at one position and looked at him and said, "Correcta." And he was like, "No, so I didn't have to tell him at all. He knew exactly where to stand because he knew, like he knows the thing." When you have an actor who understands not only the acting part but also the technical part, what is that experience like?
There's a recent interview of Tom Cruise. He said about, all the actors should know what is the lens there is, what exposure they're going, what is the depth there. Where the focus is, everything they should know. It's a part of the job. Yeah. It's not a technique. It is a part of your job of acting. Otherwise, your acting will not.
This is the BBC interview, right?
Yeah. Acting will never come across on screen. So that Mohanlal or Mammootty or Kamal Haasan, even Shah Rukh and Salman knows. Amir knows where to stand. Amitji knows. They will come and see first. This is my light, and they'll check and position themselves. And they'll not move too much. The focus puller will have difficulties. So they know in a close-up what lens they'll figure out. They see, sometimes they'll ask also, but 100, then this much, then they will not move much. So that if they move, the camera has to unnecessarily. So restrict that performance in that area only.
Right.
Sometimes they have to look at the watch. If the camera is this much only, they'll raise the hand this much. But from outside it look wrong to hold it. You can see like this watch. But he'll raise it like that so that it will communicate in the film.
Right.
So these kind of little things they'll do. And you don't have to tell them, sir, thoda height, hand height and all. It will come naturally for them. So Kamal sir, if you put anywhere any light, his eyes are first of all big. So he'll capture the light. A dot will be seen. Whereas Simbu has got eyes inside. So when both of them there, it's very difficult to pull out highlight for Simbu.
Right.
Whereas Kamal sir will catch the light. If you don't have any light also, something will fall on his eyes.
Yeah.
So he'll be always lit.
So the challenge was in the scenes that they're together, how to light those scenes. And how did you do that?
I struggled. Sometimes I couldn't light also because the camera moves and all. So certain times, people can be in darkness. You don't need to see all the time.
Yeah. When you get pampered with working with directors who really want to push Mani Ratnam, Farhan Akhtar in Dil Chahta Hai, Sanjay Leela Bhansali, all these people,
Rajiv
right?
Menon, Priyan.
Yeah, all of these people, right? They really want to do something that push. How does it feel when, do you ever do jobs just for money? Like, okay, these guys are giving me a lot of money, let's just go and do something.
I done like that, and I made a mistake like that. It cost me a big film on the other end. Yeah. So
Yeah, which film was that?
I can't tell now.
I think I know this.
Yeah.
I think I know this.
So those things happen. Like sometimes you take the film, then another good film will come. You cannot touch it.
I think, yeah. So can I name the Hindi film at least? Or no need? Okay.
You'll get hurt. So
Yeah.
sometimes you there's nothing in the horizon. So you think that this film is not going to happen. That will take. So one film will come. You say, okay, I want to buy a new car. Okay, do this film. As for big price, they'll say okay, and you take the money. Then it costs you a big film. So then you regret all your life. Nothing you can do.
And when today we are looking at things like a second screen, people doing passive watching, because when Gordon Willis, we started with Gordon Willis, we'll end with Gordon Willis. When he's lighting for The Godfather, he's lighting for every corner of the screen, right? Which is what a good cinematographer does. They don't just say this is the center of the screen and this is what it is. But increasingly, OTTs are demanding a certain kind of flat lighting so that it's easily consumed. It's not disturbing you or something like that. So when you carry I'm not saying every show or every OTT, of course there are this thing, but the general look, that sitcom look as they call it, that is becoming increasingly preferred in a lot of ways. Because
you think so?
I've heard that OTTs are actively asking people to shoot that way so that people can
watch it on the bright light also. Beauty of cinema is like Sadhguru compared cinema viewing into meditation. He said, why do you watch a movie in a theater? Because you switched off all the lights and you're sitting and you're watching the movie. It's a immersive interaction. Likewise, when you switch off all the lights, close your eyes, sit and meditate, you'll get a immersive experience. That's why that same experience you'll never get a theater experience ever in a mobile phone or a best of the TV or anything. So that never replaces the commitment. You spend time and go to a theater, and that will never change. Like
I'm asking from your viewpoint.
So my viewpoint is, see, it is a backlight equipment. So you light for it, it will look brighter only. When you see in a theater, it's a projected image. It's a reflective image. It's not a backlit image. It's not a TV. So your images will be darker there, not the way what you look in this. So when we do transfer to the backlit, we'll go a little deeper only to print it, because it's a backlit imagery. So it will make blacks little milkier. So I want it a little crushed only. So we'll do that and we'll test it on the tablet or a phone.
So your work on the film is still not yet done, in a sense.
Yeah, it won't be. We'll have to do that after.
Right. So what you do then is you treat it, say I'm making this film for the big screen, light it like that, and then do a second round of corrections for the OTT, as opposed to trying to cover everything at the first time.
Yeah. We want to do that, because each is a different media. In fact, every theater is different.
Yeah, that's the other horrible thing. Yeah,
that's a terrible thing happening. Like we went and tested in some theater, famous theater, and sound is not working one side. Then they went and saw some wires are not there. So we'll have to correct all those things. Like in 3D film, when they used to release, they go to theater and made it family friendly and all those days. Hum Aapke Kaun also, they used to clean the toilet also.
Yeah.
Now that is not the case. Now most of the theaters are clean and better digital projection. And I used to bribe the operator to project it properly. That used to be in the budget of my film also.
Yeah. But thank you so much for sharing all this. It's been a great learning experience.
Thanks for calling me.
No, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm so looking forward to what you have done in this film. So hopefully I'll catch up with you on a call or something like that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Title sponsors Indica Cream, Ramraj, Mritu Towels, presents Galatta Thug Life Celebrations. Powered by Prithvi Innovias, The Chennai Silks, Darling, Sura Books, Chandran, VP. Associate Partner, Inno6.